Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel once again. Global Football View. And you know the vibes already on the channel. We talk all things football. And we are on the Premier League review. A lot of matches we have played throughout England. And a lot of juicy results came out throughout the weekend. So before we go on to the show, first of all, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Like the channel. Like this video. And share to your friends and loved one. On my show today, I have two lovely guests. On my right, I have Mr. James. Oh, James, call the name where James. He said Mr. James, like the James. I don't know whether the James so, but let that slide. And on the other hand, we have Rotino, the Chelsea fan. I don't know how you feeling today after to this result.
I'm feeling good, was it?
You feeling good? And Manchester United, how you feeling after losing to Ofu? And no other place to start than to start from the home of the champion. Yeah, Liverpool defeated Bournemouth by 4-2. And we're going to discuss the game. But first of all, I have to condemn the racist remark that was shown to our Ghanaian international Semenyo by one. I won't call it a stupid Liverpool fans, and I'm not going to generalize it and say all Liverpool fans are racist, but that particular fans, I hope you get the judgment, if you get the justice you deserve, and you shouldn't be found in the football stadium again. We're not going to let that spoil the whole vibe of the Premier League. And with me today, we're going to discuss the game. What do you have to say about the game, Mr. James?
It was a good game. It was very entertaining. I felt Bournemouth were naive in the sense that you go to Anfield, you're losing by 2 goals. By the 88th minute, you had equalized 2-2, and you were still attacking Liverpool at Anfield.
But if I have to step in, getting to the formation, the tactical nuance of the Bournemouth coach Ariola is not a defensive coach, so you don't expect them to sit back because they actually had an opportunity to win the game.
Yes,
if
but
you look at
in the Premier League, there are certain stadiums you go and you get a point, you should be happy with it.
Do you think they're naive?
I think the coach is naive. The coach is naive. You're talking about Liverpool, the defending champion of the Premiership. You are going to Anfield from 2-0 that we had. You do. Please, let the boys sit back. Defend. The points should have been better than 0.
I understand that, Father. The points could have been better than 0, but you have to understand that this coach is an attacking coach. It doesn't sit back.
It doesn't matter. I mean, you go to Anfield, you've been able to equalize 2-2. Yes, you had the momentum, but then you should be cautious about your approach. You can sit back. You have speedsters. You have Semenyo. You have other guys who have speed. You can keep them from up front and then defend, hit them on the break. You don't need to go at them fully. And then they make 2 errors and then elected 2 goals in a dying minute. That was naive.
But sitting back, don't you think is going to invite more pressure? Sitting back will invite more pressure from Liverpool.
Sitting back do not mean you will not attack. It is 83 minutes to go. Like, you just had like a 7 minutes to go. So why are you attacking Liverpool at Anfield? You've gotten the goal. You've gotten the point. Bring the ball down. Tell your player, okay, let's sit back and watch them come out. We attack them. But you don't go at Liverpool. Like, you are playing Wolves or you are playing Bournemouth or you are playing Aston Villa. You are just going at them. These are the champions.
The goal of the game, which for me, the Semenyo second goal actually was a nice and beautiful goal. And I was surprised seeing Van Dijk. I don't know where was he running to. And a lot of times people said Van Dijk is the greatest defender to have ever played in the Premier League. When the likes of, like for you watch Manchester United over the years, the likes of Ferdinand, Vidic, do you share that same sentiment that Van Dijk is the best defender to have ever graced the Premier League?
Never. I like Van Dijk. He is a great defender, but no, he is not. I would not put him in my top 5 defenders of all time in the Premier League. He's someone who delegates. He doesn't, all of the stats, all of the records he has kept, not being dribble past and all of that, he doesn't go for a tackle. He waits the very last minute. He waits. He runs away. And there are several videos, if you look back in history, he waits. He waits it out until the final minute before he makes a tackle. He doesn't go for tackles. Van Dijk doesn't go for tackles. He doesn't do that. He waits till the end. He's not in my top 5.
It's not in your top 5. As a Chelsea fan who have seen great defenders over the years, the likes of John Terry, William Carvalho, what's this? A lot of defenders. So will you put Van Dijk as a top 5? Or you see him as one of the best?
But I think people that put Van Dijk as one of the best they've ever played are people that start watching ball from 2015 coming. Because you can watch ball from 2000 and see bias. Yeah, like I don't understand when you put people like Terry, Caballo,
So Campbell,
all these great David Age that prefer the sacrifice they like to be in the top. Even Phil Jones. I mean, there are people that will put their head into the ball like, okay, I'm dying.
because if I see the likes of Jan Stan, the defenders who I find it insulting at the time.
Very insulting.
But the Liverpool fans want to tell you that is the greatest defender. Well, we're not going to talk about that. But one player we cannot deny is a legendary status in the Premier League is the person of Mo Salah, who has continued that impressive streak of scoring always in the first game of the season. What do you have to say about it? Though for me, he didn't have a great performance. That's the problem.
He had a great.
Boy, the stats keeps coming.
He didn't have a great game, but yes, he still broke a record. Opening fixtures goals. He still broke a record. Mo Salah is Mo Salah. He will guarantee you goals no matter what. Even if he doesn't have to play. He doesn't have to play great, but then he also guarantee you goals. Back then, Cristiano Ronaldo had the same criticisms that in big games he didn't show up, but he will still end up scoring or assisting. He didn't need many touches. He didn't need many dribbles, but he still came through. And that's a sign of a great player.
As a sign of a great player, the likes of Mohamed Salah has been very, very impressive, and they won that game by 4 goals to 2. What do you say about the new striker Ekitike getting the goal and an assist in his first game in English football?
I think XK will play much fun football for in Premiership. If we check this style, is a striker like even if he's not involved in the playing, it can give you a goal. But he's actually always involved in the playing. I like his touches, his control is perfect. But I don't know if Isak comes to Liverpool, if he will still have the time to play.
That signing for me, do you think they really need that signing to
Ekitike is not a striker in the mode of Isak. Ekitike drifts. He likes to play. He's like Gakpo. Could, in my opinion, yes. He's like Gakpo. He will drift. He will play. He will like to join. Isak plays, but Isak is a fox in the box, and he's a fox outside of the box. Ekitike doesn't have that. So I think they'll still get Isak. They'll go down to the wire. Maybe last day of the transfer window, I think Isak will still go to Liverpool.
Isak will still go to Liverpool? Well, looking at the defensive frailty of Liverpool, do you still stand by your prediction as them going to win the Premier League this season?
Yeah, I think the transfer window is still open, so they still can get the light of Gay into the defense. But if this current defense of Liverpool, I don't think they have the power to retain the league. But if they get the likes of growing into the this squad, I think to be perfect because this Liverpool defense looks very shaky.
Sorry, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, for me, I don't think it's a personnel in defense. I think the most important thing that they are missing from last season was Gravenberch. They're phasing him out.
Okay.
They're phasing Gravenberch out, and Gravenberch was their best player last season. And right from preseason to the Friday game, Gravenberch game, he didn't feature. I think he's the one that they're missing because he shields the defense and he can play. He plays football. He plays pure football, and he can shield the defense very well. They didn't have that today. They didn't have that on Friday. McAllister came in. He still was not able to shield them, but then attacking wise, he was there.
Okay, and do you still stand by your prediction to say Liverpool going to win the league?
I think yes, they will challenge. I watched Man City. If it was any other team, they would not have won by 4 goals. They might even lose to them.
Oh.
Wolves didn't have the personnel to really attack them. But then, even that, they show that, yes, Man City is still fragile. Without Rodri, it wasn't working.
And you just segue into my next point of view, and I'm still going to stick with you. In your prediction, you predicted Alan to win the Golden Boot, if I'm not mistaken.
Alan doesn't need a lot of that.
And yesterday, I think he had, like 15 or 16 touches.
Yes,
has
2 goals.
2 goals.
Haaland is that guy. He needs only 5 touches to get a hat trick. He will still score.
He needs 5 touches to get an hat trick. And do you? It was saying something about Liverpool not having the capability. Liverpool having the capability to retain the league, and talking about people who has the ability and who has done it over time. Manchester City, seeing them yesterday, don't you think they will be in for a great shout?
I said that. In our preview, I said that Man City, they have the know-how. They've been able to win a title countless times, and they've been able to defend it. Liverpool have got done in the Premier League era. They've not done it. So I think Man City, they still have the know-how, but with Rodri out, it takes a great component out of their game. Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, losing the 2 players for this new season, it takes a big chunk of their style out. So it will be very difficult for them. But I still think they have players who can still go ahead and do it. And they have Pep Guardiola.
They have Pep Guardiola. And what is Pep Guardiola doing to one-time Premier League Player of the Year, Phil Foden? Phil Foden, find it very, very difficult now to even get into the bench of Manchester City, not even playing. So, fitness issue. But it wasn't reported anywhere that
It was reported. And the commentators even said that yesterday.
So do you think it's still going to come back as the Foden we used to know?
I think Foden is fading away.
Foden fading.
It's fading away. I don't actually know what is wrong with the guy, but I think it's fading away. Because if you check the like of England box, I think they are used to take away in this manner. In this manner, we are used to fade away.
Like one season hype.
One season hype, the second season, third season, they are going.
Rashford.
Like a Rashford,
Sancho.
I will not put Rashford in that bracket, because Rashford is one player who has showed at Manchester United not just one season, not 2 seasons.
Yeah, but it wasn't good.
Yeah, but in previous times, Marcus Rashford can still be classified as one of Manchester United's best player for 4 to 5 seasons in a row.
It wasn't in a row.
Okay, let's say in 5 seasons, you can say Marcus Rashford was the best player in 3, if I'm not mistaken.
They need to.
But do you know me? I thought this actually have to be in his prime by this time, and it's fading away.
Marcus Rashford started early.
And this is his prime.
But you cannot compare. But you cannot compare Marcus Rashford to Phil Foden. What Marcus Rashford has done in a broken Manchester United, Phil Foden cannot do it for a broken Manchester. Just say, for instance, last season there was no De Bruyne and there was no what's his name, Rodri. Foden, who was the best player in the season, did not step up. So you can't put the 2 of them in the same bracket. I'm sorry, that's my opinion.
If we are talking about Foden, for me, I think it's right time for Foden to do Man City.
And even if you can go where, if Foden is Man City right now, I think he'll get Barcelona. He won't get Real Madrid. He won't get PSG. He won't get Bayern. He won't get us. Get to Man. He get us. He won't get us. No, he could get to Man. You know why? We have Mbeumo, we have Zexi, we have Cunha, we have Bruno, we have
So you want to tell me Mbeumo in his form and Foden in his form is better than Foden in his form?
Exactly.
No, you can't tell me that.
If Mbeumo has scored Foden last season,
Foden was one of the poorest players last season. But season before, Foden was a player of the season.
It doesn't matter. We don't need him. We don't want him.
He won't improve. That you say you don't want it, but if Foden is having a match fix, like a match fix, and is playing and stop, you to enter Manchester squad easily.
You know something. Of all the signings that we have made, all of our executives keep talking about data-driven signings. So it's current-based. At this point in our time, in our lives, we are using current data to sign players. He signed Mbeumo based on his performance, and he's still performing. Even today against Arsenal, he performed very well. Very well. Very well.
You just say He performed per days. He talked about it, so I don't even know why you are trying that right now. Because we said he performed very well. Yeah, like that guy, except I finally did X mad at me or the match drawn. We didn't win. No, not really. I didn't even win. I said if we said he performed very well, it was our game of small margins.
We're not talking about the Manchester United. We're talking about Phil Foden. Now we are digressing into when it comes to Manchester United.
We're not working to Manchester United right now.
Phil Foden for me, I feel
not
but,
better.
but Phil Foden in his top form, he walk into any of the 20 Premier League team in England.
No.
Any of the display soccer. I said any. Phil Foden doesn't have to play on the wing. Phil Foden for me is not a winger.
You displace Odegaard.
I said Phil Foden in his prime, like what he did, that was
So
yeah.
would he displace Odegaard?
I'm not saying they could play together.
Plays
Yeah, they could play to
Arsenal plays 4-3-3.
they could play together.
No, you'd have to displace Odegaard.
No, they could play together.
Him above Odegaard.
Phil Foden at his prime and Odegaard at his prime. I'll play two of them together.
No, Arsenal plays 4-3-3.
Yeah, so it's like
for 2-10.
No, there's room for 2-10. You can play Declan Rice at the base and play 2-10. This
Where would you put Zubimendi or expensive signing?
must not start. Zubimendi must not start.
Everybody cannot start.
Everybody must not start. Like today,
Then your team will not be balanced.
it depends on you. You're not the coach.
Depends on the team you are playing.
It depends on bias. Manchester City won the game by a lot of goals. Haaland scoring 2 goals in that game, and the new signing from AC Milan right now also was on the score sheet, and they're looking as if they are really going to do well this season. And
one of the worst thing. And for the most part of the game, they were poor. Yeah, they didn't fashion out great chances. They were not the Man City of old.
And talking about the team who looked like the team of last season, Nottingham Forest.
I told you about Nottingham Forest. I thought it's still the team to watch this season.
Don't you think it's just
So you could give us that said in Nottingham Forest.
this is Brentford without Umboemo, Brentford without Wise, Brentford without Norgard, Brentford without their coach.
Person boy I just said about
Wolves.
Bulls. But I will still tell you Nottingham Forest is still the team to watch out for this season. Not to take the league, but at least from 6 to 10, Nottingham Forest is still the team.
Nottingham Forest actually won that match by 3-1. Wood scoring 2 goals in that game. And do you see Nottingham Forest sustaining this form, or you just feel like it's a?
I think after watching them against Brentford, I mean, Brentford was poor. Yes, that's a fact. They were very poor. Then in our preview, I said Nottingham Forest were going to suffer. I think I have to eat my humble pie after watching them against Brentford. Yes, it's the first game of the season, but then they proved to us. And Chris Wood, I played on Chris Wood, but I think they're not going to get to that level of
Last
season, but they won't suffer.
they will suffer.
They won't suffer.
Actually, they are team for. I'm telling you.
I don't think they're the team to watch. I think Sunderland. I was wrong about. So no, I forgot about the signings that they have made. Enzo Lefebvre.
Sunderland made at least 10 signings this season.
Yes, Enzo Lefebvre, and then they have this Brazilian kid. He came in and changed the whole complexion of the game. Sunderland are the team to watch.
And I just wanted to talk about Sunderland before we actually move into they won that game by 3-0 against Westham United. How poor was Westham United, or how good was Sunderland in that game?
Why you asking me?
The team that was good. Hurry.
West Ham was part of it. I watched West Ham last season, and I that person this guy Kudus is a very big bull. I know there will to be problem with West Ham. So I don't really expect much from West Ham, but I was expecting them to at least get a draw from that match. That was my expectation from the match entirely, but it was very poor.
Do you think West Ham was entirely poor, or Sunderland were?
I watched the game. Sunderland were great. They were very good. They had players that were very good. I think
One player I wanted to talk about, Granit Xhaka.
Granit Xhaka was very good. Like, he was a demon. He was
Man possessed.
Yes, he was everywhere. He was orchestrating play, and when they brought that guy, I think his name is El Zarate or something. They brought him in and he was everywhere. He was involved in about 2 of the goals. They were really good. West Ham had no answer, and I think that was down to the coach. Because they had the players to match Sunderland. Graham Potter looks so clueless for me. Yes, he was very clueless and he was passive. For my manager, his team on the day were very passive too as well. Like they mirrored his every emotion. They mirrored him. It was so bad. I was embarrassed. But what to check that was on Bush platform on the big place getting tackled. No. That's what I said. They mirrored the crew. You said they have the player. They have the players. They had the IMs, which it's only got this. Oh, what's the Paketa? Pakebo? Should have the Bowen. It's only Bowen that you have Bowen. You have Paketa. You have Susek, and you kept them on the bench. And then when Susek came in, you took out Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse who would be able to supply crosses. And then there was Fulkrug. Fulkrug did nothing of the game. We had a 4.6 rating in that game. He should have taken Fulkrug out because he did nothing. No hold-up play, no link-up, nothing. He had no shot on target, no shots, nothing. It was that bad. And he didn't take Fulkrug out. He kept Fulkrug to Ward-Prowse who was supplying the crosses. But I just feel Sunderland are one of the team to be relegated. Even after watching them play, I still think they'll be relegated because I know the Premier League is that league. They will let you. We've seen teams that have started this way before. You understand? They will start so well, but the Premier League, when the push comes to shove, they select the depths from they select the shaft from the main. Yeah, usually, as I say, when we start the league, we should wait till about after 10 games to draw our conclusions or to put out our expectations. But then watching Sunderland against West Ham, they were defensively solid and they were very fluid going forward. If they can maintain the performance they had against West Ham, even if it's against 10 of the teams in the league, they will survive. But if you look at it in the second way, West Ham was poor. Very. West Ham. Yeah. Very, very poor. So you can't use because West Ham was poor and Sunderland met a very poor West Ham team. You just feel when you asked us the teams that will go through relegation, I think what we both agreed on was West Ham, even before they kicked the ball. Yeah. The coach is a factor. And then the players they have lost. Then from last season, not even from last season, from the last couple of seasons, how they've played, how they've managed in the league, how they've managed to survive relegation in the league. I think it's at this time.
I think they are not signing the right player for the team.
Yeah, they're not signing the.
After losing Declan Rice, we can't find anybody.
They signed Rodriguez.
Yeah, Kevin Phillips.
Kevin Phillips didn't. No.
Kevin Phillips there.
He
came in January.
Yeah, it was a loan.
It was a loan, but
yeah.
Yes,
but apart from Kevin Phillips, they have this guy Alvarez from Ajax. Okay. That Mexican player here, Alvarez from Ajax, and they play him more as an 8 than a 6. So it's not working. There's nothing working. There's nothing about that West Ham performance against Sunderland that would give you hope. It won't give any West Ham fan hope. And talking about performance, we move on to the big fixture of the day, the major feature of the week, Manchester United versus Arsenal. And I'm not going to talk too much about that. I'm just going to let my guests talk. As you can see, I'm wearing my jerseys of the latest. I don't really like that. I know. We are on camera. Well, we're on camera. Definitely we're on camera. But I'm only happy for the 3 point. I'm just proud of how deep the boys dug out the 3 point after going ahead with 30 minutes. Ricardo Calafuri likes to score against Manchester Club. It was on the score sheet. And for me, it was a great game. Not too much quality from Arsenal. But the most important thing, the players are still finding their feet, getting the 3 point from Old Trafford, a stadium which we have suffered a lot in our history. So getting the 3 point for me is a welcome development. Still yet to lose against Manchester United for the past 3 seasons at Old Trafford. So
It's nice. Then getting the 1-0 win and 3 point. By end that today, do you think you can survive with such goalkeeper?
No, it's not our first choice goalkeeper.
I know it's not your first choice goalkeeper, but
Our first choice is not any good either.
so that's what I wanted to say. So he confession it's not good, and your second choice, I think Tom Unity would have done better with that cross. What do you?
Yeah, he would have. He would have. But then it's at this point, it's just ifs and maybes. So we are not going to speculate much.
So why are you blaming the keeper for the goal?
I mean, the goal.
After they scored that kind of goal last season more than 6 times.
They scored a
They scored, yeah. So why you blame the keeper?
The goalkeeper should
be strong enough to point. How do you call it? Rad made the same thing. He made the same say in the same game in the second half.
Why don't you blame the better that are allowed the player
Saliba.
yeah. Why don't you blame the defender?
Look, because if the keeper had tried to push the defender away, the referee would have stopped the game.
Yeah.
And it would have been a foul for the keeper because keepers are protected like that.
But there was a player in front of the Saliba that was in front, not at back yet. So but Saliba, he's not supposed to be like that.
During the course of the play,
Yeah.
Saliba managed to get between that player and the keeper.
Yeah.
So he had his hand on the keeper's hand.
Yes.
And that should have been a foul.
So why you blaming the keeper? That's my point. Why
He should have been strong enough. Yes, today, Sanchez made the same thing. Sanchez punched the back of Gay's head. The commentators were saying the referee should have looked at that and it should have been a penalty. But the referees didn't. Sanchez was strong enough to punch the player's head and the ball.
If I'm to be honest, I thought Sanchez had a touch on the ball too. So
He had a touch on the ball, but he punched the player's head first before his hand touched the ball.
the fact that
when you take Asta corner and where the keeper is standing, you can't blame the keeper for not having that.
He was impeded, yes, but like he should have been strong enough. He just touched. If Califeri had not touched the ball, it was a goal.
Yeah, it was a goal.
Yeah, so it was a soft touch.
If you check the stretch able to go and touch the ball, because I think Saliba was taking him away from the ball.
Saliba pushed him a little time more. Yeah.
So if he said the keeper made nice,
I don't think your operator says Saliba pushed him, because if you say push,
not push, like Saliba has his all about the guy's body obstructed him, and getting to
Saliba was standing his ground.
He was not standing. He was leaning his body. He was against his keeper. But we used to say he was a dancing. You see, I think Premiership have to look into this Arsenal. Into this Arsenal kind of corner kick or free kick.
I don't think they're going to look into it
because
Arsenal have scored 30 corners
from this kind of, because Saliba actually has his hand on the keeper.
He actually had his hand on his hand.
Like, the guy was. We watched the match. I think even VR was reviewing the goal for over again.
It wasn't just the keeper. Saliba was pulling on Messi Mount's shirt to the extent that the shirt was up to his chest.
So you think Arsenal robbed?
Well, we can't say rob. Is it say?
Sure, it was robbed. I mean, at the end of the day, decisions can go in your favor or against you. It happens. But then, for me, I think Manchester United played a great game. And for a very long time, I've not seen Manchester United dominate any team like they did Arsenal today. The statistics are clear. They really dominated in the game, and it was a game of small margin. Immediately, I saw the corner, because the corner was a key one. Bruno should have done better. That pass he gave to Dogu. He waited until two players pressed him, and then he passed to Dogu, and that pass was not even a good pass for the corner. So I think we still have a lot of things to iron out. Manchester United still have a lot of things to work on. Arsenal beat us with the same corners from last Sunday. The first game, 2-0. It was 2 corners scored by 2 defenders, and the same thing happened today. So I think we still have a lot to work on. But then, I have never seen Manchester United dominate a top 4, talk about a top 2 team as they did today in like 5 years.
But you never just see Manchester second leg actually dominate that game.
Chelsea was not on the game. Chelsea, I don't count Chelsea.
You see how yet? You don't count Chelsea?
No.
I'll stay.
So I wanted to ask you something. if you are a Manchester United, which you are not, I know you will never be.
Never.
Watching Manchester United play today, will you be satisfied with the performance? Knowing fully well you dominated, had shots.
No, if he said dominate, yeah, Man U really played well. Yes. They played with come back to their position by his 15.
And they're still standing 15.
Yeah, that's where they where they played the last season and they are still standing 15 as of today. So if you say they play well, he can take that as his own choice because he's Man United fans. Because you can't play well and lose a match at home.
First game of the season.
Banter aside. Banter aside.
It's not banter. I'm not saying
Pardon, this is because this is banter. This is not a fact. Banter aside. Why you say it's not? For no way. You cannot so the fact. You cannot dispute the fact.
What is the fact? The fact that you play well and love that. Is that not the fact?
No.
The fact
He's
is
saying he says that we play well, but that's my opinion.
no. You said you played well. So I mean, I'm asking the question: will you be satisfied? Now he's saying you can be satisfied, but for him, as a Chelsea fan,
I didn't say I was satisfied. See the question. I said we played a great game. I didn't say I was satisfied.
but you were referring your performance. The performance was great. Referring the performance that you never played against a top 4 team and dominate them. So
Compare it to recent history, and I did give a timeline that in the past 5 years we've never ever in our lives dominated a top 6. To talk about a top 2 team,
and he said Chelsea. Chelsea actually finished fifth last season, which made them a top 6 actually. The fourth, which made them even a top 4 team.
we didn't actually dominate Chelsea. It was a yo-yo team. It was a yo-yo game. It kept going. It was back and forth, and back and forth.
the match was back.
It wasn't back and forth.
Did we had touched Man U Arsenal on targets?
They only have one shot on target.
So we have one shot on target.
Arsenal have one shot on target.
We had more than one shot for target. Even in the first half, we had 2 shots on target in the first half.
It was from way out. It was nothing to disturb the keeper. It wasn't.
You talk about statistics, but now you're not creating the right statistics.
Wait, look, Arsenal didn't play.
If you tell me Arsenal didn't play well today, I will agree with you. I'm not going to dispute. I know. Excuse me.
Arsenal didn't play well.
We didn't play.
Can stop them from playing well.
That's the same thing I'm saying. Arsenal didn't play well because you know the capability of Arsenal. Arsenal normally plays better than this. And even with the likes of the new signing we had today, we're expecting Arsenal to play better than this. But you guys did very well. But don't forget, this same United came to Arsenal some seasons ago. David De Gea having 13 saves in that game. Arsenal had 33. Yeah, no, you're saying you are
United.
Yeah, you are happy. You're happy of the performance. I know probably you will say that you had more of the shots, more of the attempt on goal, and we
played home. We played home. You played at. It's not about home. How many games did we lose at home last season? We lost the most games at home last season. This year, compared to last season. You same players. You signed over the same players I started. I support, but if we're at 30 million, you gotta say the same player. Apart from Mbeumo and Cunha, and maybe Dobu. What the same players you played last season?
What about Euro? I know. As a Euro, it had
the usual last season. It's the same players. It's the bulk of it is the same players. But then
Bayanda didn't play last season.
the dynamics of the whole thing has changed.
Bayanda didn't play last season.
So Bayanda is our second goalkeeper. He's not our first goalkeeper. So he cannot be an improvement on our first goalkeeper. He made a silly mistake and we considered a silly goal. So he's not an improvement. Or you consider the same goal last season
with the first choice.
With your first choice.
It wasn't the same goal.
You consider the same.
It was same corner, but it wasn't the same.
Almost the same kind of.
Onana didn't palm the ball into the pool.
Consider the same goal against Tottenham. Son playing a direct corner kick last season. If I'm there,
we are talking about Arsenal.
No, I'm just saying like.
And even if you consider the same thing, it's still like
for you right now. You have a great game. That's what I say.
I'm saying it was a great performance.
It was not a great day.
It was a great game would have ended with us winning, but it was a great performance as compared to Manchester United that you know from last season, even not last season from Ten Hag. If it was Ten Hag, if it was last season, we would have lost that game by 2-3 goals. Arsenal would have cut through us like butter, but they didn't. They couldn't create one big chance.
After spending, it doesn't matter. You get us. Crystal Palace scored us home. Nottingham Forest, like all the small teams scored us at home. All the big teams scored us at home except for Man City.
But after everybody beat us at home, everybody was beating us at home like we are their kids. But they beat us and did not beat us. It was not just performance. That's not draw.
We drew them last season.
You drew us at home, fine, but they dominated us. They created tons of chances. I say this one, you dominated but lose. Yes.
So you will prefer to have been dominated and get a point.
No matter how the game went, everybody expected us not to dominate. Everybody expected us not to go on and
I never expected us to dominate. Because actually, for my to add the data.
there was a hope. Yeah, hope it. Because you ask it.
You can't tell me you spent over 200 million in the transfer market and you still want the team to be like last season.
Bro, how much have you spent this season?
I've not spent what you spent this season, if you check.
How many players have you bought?
You know how many players I've bought? Is the money spent you know about?
It's not about money spent. We bought Anthony for 85 million. What has he done? We bought Maguire for 90 million. What has he done? It's not about the money spent. The price is inconsequential. What we are saying is you have bought a lot of players and you still managed a draw at home against Crystal Palace and they had the best chances.
Yeah.
Since the 3rd minute that you had a shot on target, you didn't get any.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace almost won the game.
Almost, yeah.
Almost. They scored a game. They scored a goal. You didn't last. You had 2 shots on target, which was from way out.
Yeah.
So what are you saying? You bought a lot of players. We didn't. We bought how many? 4.
Or you say
The last one was bought from last season.
Now you say one more, but how many players do you think actually Chelsea signed this season?
How many have you signed?
I'm asking you.
You signed Gittin.
Yes, one.
Those 2. João Pedro. Jared Hato. Dilar.
Yeah, that's 4.
4. And then who else? Estavo.
For Westham was stable 2 seasons ago.
2 seasons ago. Okay, so it's not part.
He's not part.
Who else? Who else are they signed?
They beat what's the name of this place that was signed last season?
Where signed this head? Andre Santos.
I look that was signed 3 seasons ago. 2 or 3 seasons ago. Let's not go into
if you have to sign 3 this season. If you are talking about players that we signed this season, yeah, it's just 3.
looking at the players you have signed this season,
yeah,
it's a
ready-made player.
It's expected for you to have an improvement in your play. The likes of Cunha. Cunha is a very good.
So are you saying we didn't have an improvement in our play?
I said it is expected to have a.
And that happened.
Yes, so you glorifying your performance, saying that you've played well.
I'm not glorifying it. I'm only stating the fact.
You're stating a fact. Is same thing as still glorifying it.
I'm not glorifying. I'm still glorifying. I'm not waxing lyrical about the performance. What I'm saying is, this is what happened. We've never ever, in the last 5 seasons, played against Arsenal this good.
And you're happy?
I'm not. I'm happy with the performance.
Happy with the guidance. Happy in this manner.
No, we are not used to being happy. I'm happy with this performance. We've never had this performance in a long while. Okay. I've had this performance against Arsenal. Arsenal can come to my house. They will beat me silly. They will dominate and beat me silly.
There's something.
This game was a game of margin.
There's something I saw. It said Liverpool took 3 points. Tottenham took 3 points. Man City took 3 points. Arsenal took 3 points. Even Chelsea took 1 point. But Manchester United proved a point. And that's the point he's saying. So we're just going to move. Just as it is. Yeah.
The thing is, if I lose Chelsea now, I'll beat them black and be.
Stop
saying it.
Talking about Chelsea. Chelsea played out a goalless draw with Crystal Palace at Stamford Bridge, and like my 2 guests have been saying, they're going back and front of the game. And as a Chelsea fans, is it concerning for you now that Kopama has scored 0 open play goals in January in the Premier League? Is it concerning for you?
It's concerning. I think it's Maestro that is not playing Kopama at the right position, and like it would actually have a better chance of flourishing. But if you check Kopama at the World Cup for Monster playing, was actually playing at his right position. If you check Chelsea or Betis in the final of Conference League, but the fact that lead is right position. I don't understand. Every time Maestro try to play Kopama at 10 and Drake Enzo at decline. Yeah, it's not working like in that manner. I don't understand why Maestro keep doing the same thing.
I think whenever Reece James's play, it takes a lot of creativity from Cole Palmer and goes to Reece James, because I've noticed that whenever Reece James is not playing, take for instance when Reece James left the field, Cole Palmer became lively. He had more touches of the ball than when Reece James was. Don't you? Do you think?
You notice with States, because we Zim actually played against PSG and Palmer was in field.
Reece James played in the midfield, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, those dogs, I don't stop, boys. I don't think it was visiting. I think it's Maresca trying to prove something. I don't really get what he's proving, because when Palmer came back to the right position that we saw at the few last minutes of the game, it has seen having some turnings, creating some chance. So I don't really understand what Maresca is trying to do.
Yeah, the biggest talking point from the game was the goal by Eberechi that was disallowed. And according to the VAR review, they said they disallowed the goal because game moved into Chelsea wall within 1 meter from the Chelsea wall. Do you think it was, because if actually look, a lot of videos were trending online seeing the goal you guys scored against Manchester United scored against Arsenal last season, the free kick of Bruno Fernandes. It was a Manchester United player that got into the Arsenal wall, but the goal wasn't disallowed. Which for me, I don't think you should disallow a goal like that, because the brilliance of the player playing the free kick should not be taken out of context. VAR was brought in to bring out good calls, like when there's a penalty, when there's a red card. And for me, that goal, I don't think should have been disallowed. What do you have to say? Do you think is a right call by the referee, by the VAR team, because it wasn't the referee that actually made a call?
Well, it comes down to discretion and then the interpretation of the law. Gary actually pushed Caicedo into the wall.
If the referee had disallowed the goal because Gay pushed Caicedo, I would understand that one better than saying Gay moved into the Chelsea wall 1 meter from the Chelsea wall. For me,
According to what you said, right?
Yeah.
The law.
yeah,
Gay actually pushed Caicedo for him to get close.
to the wall.
And if Caicedo will not be pushed at all, I don't think that goal, that free kick would have won a goal.
You're not getting my point. Yeah, there. If the VAR people are telling me that the push on Caicedo was a foul to remove him from the wave because for the free kick to go, for me, I will understand that better. But saying again he moved into the Chelsea wall, that's the reason they are disallowing the goal. That for me, I think it's not consistent enough, because we've seen a lot of players going to the walls of.
If actually check Man U, Arsenal, this part, I think some similar was last as in this season, something. But the coach, the referee told, is it Man U midfielder or Arsenal, that he should move away from the wall.
I think it drew on
Because I think the law is actually, yes, you can respect.
This
The law is actually,
You know, the referees will call, and then they put that spraying for so the offensive wall and then the defensive wall. You don't need to get close to the defensive wall as an attacking player. So, but Gay pushing it wasn't a foul. Him pushing was not a foul. Caicedo was not a foul, but he pushed him to the extent that he and Caicedo joined the Chelsea's defensive wall.
For me, I think it's a foul. Because if you see the push he actually pushed, it was really so obvious. Was so obvious for
him to get him out of the way.
Yeah, so if you are telling me that is the foul you're blowing for, I can understand. But not telling me that
A foul would be more controversial.
a foul would have been more reasonable for me.
But a foul would have said it's too soft.
Ooh, yeah. Because he wasn't active. He was just shoulder badging him.
But he wasn't wearing his shoulder bag. Was a clear push.
Using his shoulders.
If I push you like that, go for you push the person or you told of you to get into the Chelsea was so the pushing was so clear. And the pushing was so clear. Also, the results was so clear. Yeah, you said Chelsea was going to fight for the title. After watching them today, you have any reservation about that preparation?
For me, like I said, I did say Chelsea were going to fight for the title, but then I also said it will be heavily dependent on the manager, Maresca. I think today he had a couple of come very wrong. If he had been very proactive in his substitution and his tactics, I think Chelsea would have come away with something from the game.
Okay, Chelsea coming out for the game. Chelsea actually.
Let me bring something. actually, if you check the Chelsea thing, we lost the life of one of our best defender. Kessie went injury. Cowell is out of the season. So I blame Maresca for some things, including Matters. I think he was trying to prevent them from to come at us way. Because these people actually beat Man City just a week ago. Penalty. It was the drama they didn't take against Liverpool. They beat Man City. Yeah, sorry, Liverpool in the they beat Liverpool. And so I don't think there's anything bigger than like Crystal Palace is actually one of the team you feel like if they're coming to your own, they're going to get the result.
It's true. It's true. I mean, Crystal Palace have they've been in 10 games against the top 6 sides in the last season up at this season, and they've not lost one. They beat Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool.
Who beat them in the first leg?
Yes, but they still qualify. They beat you to qualify. They
Qualified our
team for the FA Cup.
We didn't play them in the FA Cup.
We didn't play them in the FA Cup. And no, I'm talking about like in your cup competitions. They won 2 trophies after being matches against top sides in 10 games, and they've not lost one. So playing against Chelsea today, yes, they made it very difficult for Chelsea. They made it very difficult for Chelsea to create from the middle all the sides. So I was hoping Maresca will push their best creator, which is Palmer, to the right-hand side because he does his best work from there. But they didn't. They just still kept him in the middle, which is why you were saying because of Reece James. But then, Reece James is an outlet. Palmer would have worked very well with Reece James on the flanks. But then they still kept Palmer in the middle. Even when Reece James went out, Palmer came out to the right half only momentarily. He came there for like a couple of times and then still went in the middle. Even when he did his best work on the right, he still came in the middle. And that took a lot away from their game, which is why Palmer didn't perform. He didn't perform at all.
And if we check for the past since that we said Palmer at stop point, I've been playing that position and we don't understand why coach is still playing that position. Because anytime Palmer play that position we play today, nothing's going to
Against teams like Crystal Palace, who are going to congest the middle, Palmer will not work.
Because anytime Palmer is trapping the ball, the player already dead.
We take the ball away. So why do you keep
Playing it and that plays. Okay, Crystal Palace played that for a draw. I think they set out to not lose that game. In my opinion, they set out not to lose that game, but that's it. No, they are set up not to lose because if you look at their defensive block, they actually made it so difficult. Chelsea could not play any true ball they played over the head of Gay. The goalkeeper was always there to pick up the ball. So I feel they set up not to lose, but if they could get a win, they'll really have taken the win. So we're gonna move on to other matches that was played. We're gonna just rush through them. Newcastle and Aston Villa played at a goalless draw on the early kickoff. Newcastle, for me, let me get your opinion. With Isak not playing, do you think they would have won that game yesterday if Isak was there?
like easy. Because after Villa will totally playing anything. Because I think with Isak was there, there are some big chances, big like this, like the Elanga Arga, what's not this guy? God, like the chances was clear. All those chances would like have been buried. They are buried chances for Isak. Buried chances, but so like it's all the that chance you just want and say, oh, it's just there, but I just missing it. There are some pros that will come in. Gordon cannot jump up to it. He was not able to control it. He was not able to bring it down. I think this say Isak affects him very much.
What?
Okay, if Isak had played, they would have won. No doubt about it. But then, in the first half especially, Aston Villa were very core. In the second half, they came into the game onto the red card for Konsa.
I really think they played better after getting the red card.
Yeah, they play a lot better in the second half. And after the red card, they were compact. They knew exactly what to do. And I think the draw was a fair result. I think that Newcastle dominated the first half. If you check the stats, they dominated in the first half. But then they didn't have a striker. Gordon as a 9 was not working.
Was a red card really, or was you were there for you? Was it there?
It was a
if they do another card.
Same thing happened in a World Cup, Ghana versus Brazil, I think. Same thing happened with John Mensah. Yeah, he jumped, but he left his leg before the attacking player's green leg, and then it was the same thing. But this guy, he pulled. It was a full out of bit. He pulled on the guy. So it was a blatant red card.
Aston Villa played at a goalless draw with Newcastle. Newcastle without Isak. Let's see. Will Isak go to Liverpool? We're still here to find out. And other matches that was played over the week saw Tottenham Hotspur beating Burnley, newly promoted Burnley by 3 goals to nothing. What do you say about Burnley? You know, I told you the 3 teams are going to get relegated. And assistant by that. How impressed were you with Tottenham?
I go with Texas and one of the teams to best. In last week, I said Tottenham is going to be between actually fight for the top 6. Yeah, top 6. I come very sure of thoughts because they'll be better than last season. Because with their new manager and the kind of style they are playing right now, they are actually playing them more their style, last season style. So they are going to be very pitching that. Let's just enjoy their watching them right now.
One thing I do not always want to fall into. I don't always want to fall into the trap of new manager bans. Tottenham are one team whereby whenever they get a new manager, the first games of the season, you see them, no, at the end of the day, will crash down.
They also saw big hands in this first season. First 10 games.
Yes, unbeaten.
So it's unbeaten.
Until Chelsea came.
It happens. It happens. And Tottenham, they do not have a culture of win. They are going to try. They have players.
It's the history of the Tottenham.
They have the players. If they get Ezim and they get Sabiyo, I think it will elevate him to another level. But I still think they will not have the culture to win. And the manager that he has now, although he's a very good manager, he also does not know how to win.
Actually, me, I'm going to wait for see them against Saints for their next match to say.
Yeah, we're going to do our prediction again at the end of the transfer window because when everybody have signed the players I want to sign. This is a player we're going to take to January. So we're actually going to do another video about our predictions and see if we're going to stand by our predictions or we're going to change our prediction. And the last game for the week saw Brighton played a 1-1 draw with Fulham. Fulham getting a 9-minute goal. Muniz equalizing for Fulham in that game. Brighton will always be Brighton. Baleba was supposed to go to Manchester United. I think he's staying for the season and they refused to sell. So Brighton, Fulham, last game of a review saw them play out a 1-1 draw. Is there anything quick you want to say about that game?
A nice game. I think right at the game in their hands and doesn't need to first time at the time because if it was a match, West Ham was started playing them. I think the coach was supposed to play much compass, but he still went on full after the vice coach, but he still went on playing attacking them
Like the Bournemouth coach.
but when actually have that thing, the last time they were playing, they do the same thing. No matter how much to stop or do want. Burnley guy has still come to come like, I don't understand why you are in Premiership, bro. Why are you doing that? You be conceding 4, you're still coming out like.
So that's there's anything you want to say about the Brighton and Fulham game?
I think it was a fair result.
Or the fair result?
So they're a par. They are level.
Actually, my friend carried them one all go.
Both into a score.
Yeah.
Boy, already had the same level.
No, so no, my friend, one of my team. Steady.
Finish. You both teams score any.
Yeah, the same.
They're the same level.
I felt it was going to happen. I felt a draw was a fair result.
A draw was a fair result, and those are the games that was played this week in the English Premier League. And currently, let's see the Premier League table as it stands right now. I think Manchester City are leading. Manchester City are leading the Manchester City are leading the Premier League table. Sunderland has scored.
United.
We are who?
Who's position in mine?
Why United are comfortable? Yeah, they used to.
We are home.
15. Yeah, 15. That's their.
Congratulations, my brother.
We're home. We're home. It's our home.
So we're going through the Premier League table right now. Manchester City are currently leading the league table after scoring 4 goals in their game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Sunderland, the newly promoted team, actually defeated West Ham, a poor West Ham team for that matter, by 3-0. Tottenham seated in the log table after a 3-0 win against Burnley. Liverpool, on the other hand, had a 4-2 win over Bournemouth. Nottingham Forest came back from last season, and they continued their impressive form by winning by 3-1. Arsenal going on to Old Trafford to get a 1-0 win in that game. Fulham sits 7th on the log table after a 1-1 draw, while Chelsea and Crystal Palace sit 8 and 9 respectively. Brighton sits 10, Newcastle 12, Everton 14th, Leeds United 14, and Manchester United, the Red Devils, sits 15 in the log table. Bournemouth sits 16 after losing to Liverpool by 4-2. Brentford, on the other hand, had a poor performance against Nottingham Forest, lost that game by 3-1. West Ham United lost by 3-2 nothing against Sunderland. The sits on the 18th in the log table. Burnley, the newly promoted team, sit 19 after a poor performance against Tottenham. By Wolverhampton Wanderers, who were the big losers of the week, saw them taking 4 goals at home against Manchester City. They sit 20 on the log table. They see a lot of games to be played after match day week 1. We're seeing the league taking shapes already, and Manchester United sits 15 where they normally like sitting. And I really need to thank these guys for coming on to the show today. Thank you, Mr. Rotime, for coming on to the show, and Mr. James, thank you for coming.
The league is not a shape. It's just it's not a shape.
The league
The league takes shape after 10 games.
Of course, the league takes shape after 10 games, and I will still not be surprised if I see Manchester United still sitting where they normally like to sit.
So you might tell that you do you want to bet on it? We're pick Fulham.
No,
You want to bet on it?
I'm not a betting man, and would also call bet.
You want to bet on it?
So
Manchester United will stay there.
Who's that picky?
after 2,230, after spending 2,230 passes, you're saying it's our home. Yeah, then it's just start. But that's it. No,
So deep league.
they're winning the league.
The league says we are winning the league.
It doesn't. It could not even predict Manchester United to go into top 4. I am the only one who predicted that Manchester United are going into top 4. This is
It's a top 6, but now I take my mind. We are winning the league.
He said we're going to win the league. And for those of you who still have not participated in our Football Survivor Series, please do click on the link and join the Football Survivor Series. What are you waiting for? Let's get your opinion. Who you think is going to win the league? Let us know in the comment section. For me, I still think Arsenal are going to win the league. It says Liverpool are going to win the league, and it says Liverpool are going to win the league. But now it's saying it's smart because of the derby. I told you it was verifying their performance. I told you. You see, just one performance.
I just get them lost. So I cannot support my team.
No, I'm not saying you cannot support your Bayern.
So we are winning the league. We are winning Champions League. We are winning AFCON.
Yeah, you do.
We are not a good pace. Papa.
You got it on camera. You said they're going to win the league. And thank you guys for staying tuned. If you're not subscribed yet to the channel, like I say, please do join. We will need to welcome you into this Global Football View family. So till we come your way next time, remember, like this video, share to your friends, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. Until we meet you again, say peace out. Stay blessed.